Hey everybody, hope everybody's having a great night. We're going to bring in the ancients again, and they're going to talk about the spirit world, love, and how this world is a recycling matrix. Um, so I know that's some of the stuff they're going to talk about. So we're going to bring them in. If you guys like these channelings, please like and subscribe and share these videos with as many people as you can. Really appreciate it. Thanks again for the support. The biggest question that everybody has is, where do we come from? When did life start? How did we get here? What made the primordial first energy source? We, as you call us, the ancient builder race, the guardians, the sentinels, the master builder race, once again, we want to say we are not gods. No one is gods. We are all the same on the evolutionary path of the ever unfolding life of consciousness. But we are the original builders of this sector. We are very, very old or ancient, as in perceiving to your timeline. We created this sector, not just this system, but other systems, and we help seeded life in other sectors. We shared the genetic codes and the secrets of building life with your galactic cousins. No one knows the full story of the unfolding or the beginning of the first energy. We can tell you that we have the disc of the history of the universe that we guard and that we did share with some of your galactic cousins to help build life. Some took advantage of it and overtook certain sectors. But we keep that information in a time and space where no one can find it. Very guarded. Many of your galactic cousins seek out this information, the building blocks of life, the history of the universe from the beginning. We will tell you that if you close your eyes and what you see is nothing in black, that even wouldn't exist before the creation. We will tell you, as we said before, that no one has the full story. But according to the records, in another realm, not of this physical realm or capacity, there was a spark or energy that ignited a consciousness of which the human brain cannot comprehend, of how something can become out of nothing. Your human brain is wired to only perceive within the five senses. But just like there are Wi-Fi waves that you cannot see and other waves such as light that you can only see the true colors of the spectrum when it's bent. Your five senses imprison you to only perceive what this current matrix wants you to see. If you had the full capacity of your connection to your higher self, then you would understand. And even then, it is still hard to understand how a spark or a consciousness of energy became conscious. And then it expanded outward mentally. And through deliberation and creation of thought, octaves, sound, light, did the physical and other mental and non-physical realms appear. It all started with energy, and everything is energy. This sector is held up by light, octaves, sound, thought, intention, and most of all, energy. As this first energy expanded outward and started creating different realms to explore, to grow, fragments of it splintered off. Souls, soul groups. We are one of such group. And we do not go by a label or a name, but to help associate you with us. And just like your galactic cousins that have names, we will just continue to refer to ourselves as the ancient builder race, which is of physical and non-physical. When we incarnate in physical, we still have that connection to the spirit world. And the true essence of you is your soul and the spirit world, which many do not talk about. Everything hinges upon your soul and the spirit world. And we only call it the spirit world so your human brains can comprehend and correlate what we are saying. You call it the other side, the spirit world. It's just a perception of another reality. The true essence, the ever unfolding expansion of conscious, of life. Life is never ending. There's no finish line. It's ever unfolding, developing, learning, seeking perfection. The purpose of life is for experience, for your soul's evolutionary development, to learn, to create, to learn how to use energy, whether it's through thought or coming here to learn the physical aspects of energy, money energy, love energy within these terminologies in this sector. Universal love is not what the humans perceive of it on this earth. Universal love is acceptance, not judgmental, not possessive. It does not lead to the other side of the sword of negative feelings. Unfortunately, the way you are wired and the way this matrix is, you come here as a soul to seek love, to experience the food, the physicality, whatever the purpose is. But love is predetermined or conditioned in this world. Love comes with the opposite end spectrum of feelings, of low vibrational feelings. And that's what keeps you in this matrix and on the so-called hamster wheel of reincarnation. When you come here and you love in a relationship and you meet, whether it's a partner or you have a child or a parent or a friend, as you grow and evolve and they grow and evolve, sometimes what you want and what your thoughts change to differs from them. It's not bad, it's just your own evolutionary growth. Say, for example, you're married with someone and you get married in your 20s and you have kids and the pressure of a job and money, and you continue to evolve, because if you don't change as a person, every so years you're not growing. So by the time you're in your 40s, your views are different. And even though you may have love for that person, you may fall out of love. Or some people love so much that they feel that they cannot let a person go, and they become possessive and jealous and anger. Those feelings aren't natural in accordance with love. Love is the understanding and acceptance of letting go, of the appreciation of the moment you had with that person. You are also very highly sexual creatures, and you mistaken sex for love. Sex is an energy exchange, a feeling. Many of you perceive sex as an animal lust behavior, and you forego the energy exchange of emotions. And when you're with a partner, you lose that love within this spectrum, or attention, and you seek it out in a sexual way with another partner. We are not saying it's right or wrong, but this invokes jealousy, rage, betrayal, trust being thrown out the window. When one can truly overcome all those low vibrational energy opposite of love, and when one is acceptance of all without giving the direct power of love, you start to overcome the lower vibrational energies, and your beliefs raise your vibration, and you take them to the other side when you die. You see, your matrix is conditioned by religion, by community, by schools. You're told certain things. And we want to reiterate to you that you have the power to choose when you're on the other side, whether to come back or not. As there are other soul groups and their points of view of the evolutionary point of life, the original blueprint of this sector was not to reincarnate and to so-called learn as a school or fix your karma. It was as a soul to incorporate itself into a physicality dimension for the experience. The universal laws were set up within this matrix for the soul to want to learn, and if the wrongdoings were happening, to come back and fix them. But as we observe, no one is perfect. So there's always going to be mistakes made in life. And no one has come to that conclusion that no one leads a perfect life. So if that's the case, then you would be on this hamster wheel forever. But you are taught that within your soul groups. Some groups use this as a school to come here to learn. Your controllers use it as a recycling soul center to feed off your energy, and use religion as your beliefs. So if you believe you're going to hell, or you have to pay back some karma, then you'll come back. It's a very hard concept for the soul incarnating in the physical or mental realms. But your matrix was set up this way, with energies being bombarded of low vibrational octaves to keep people down, depressed, worried, feared, cut off from your own power. This is so energy could be fed off. Your controllers and other galactic cousins use this sector as a genetic experiment. They like to experiment on humans, animals, foods, to try to break the code of how to incorporate life in other sectors. Other sectors are not so beautiful as this planet, which is why it's fought over. And it's a conglomerate of different foods and species. Some are cold, dark, dreary places. See, not everyone has the genetic blueprints to create life. Some only have a certain level that they can achieve. And without those original blueprints, it's like a dog chasing its tail. So what do you do when you need materials or food sources? You overtake other sectors, and you either take those materials and energy, or you study them and experiment to try to learn how to duplicate it for your own sector's use. And that's what this recycling matrix is. It's needed for souls to come into the bodies so it can be set up for the way your controllers have it set up. And they set it up in such a way that you come here to experience love, but yet in every love relationship at some point, the other end or opposite spectrum of those positive feelings end up bringing you into those negative vibrations over the course of your relationship. Or you are seeking out the so-called love and become disheartened, desperate to find it without realizing that universal love is what you're after. You have to unlearn what you were taught about love and those feelings and understand what true universal love is. It's acceptance. Yes, love feels good, and love can be disappointing, especially within the human species, because you are conditioned that way through your DNA. But you must unlearn and override those conditions in order to raise your vibration. How many people's lives become ruined from a loss of love, abandonment, searching for love? When you can learn love, when you are not loved, then you are on the right track. When you've been treated horribly, and yet you can still each day be nice, appreciate everything, and extend love out to everyone. You stand within your power, and the Matrix no longer has any ownership over you. You had a prophet by the name of Jesus, and not from the religious perspective, which was distorted. But Jesus incarnated here, just like the rest of us. He was not a God or a Lord. Your controllers set up a religion to make it look like that. He was just a person that came here in his own words, to try to tell you, to show you the way. And that meant by self-love. His actions were definitely distorted in the stories of the Bible. He was just a soul coming here for experience, to learn, and also to help break the matrix. So the question on everybody's mind is, why do we allow it? Why your galactic cousins have their own perspective on how to fix things, or try to right their ship, or how to combat it. Everyone, as we said in the last channeling, is a chef with their hands in this soup, and this sector is the soup. We are observing in the background, seeing what works and what doesn't work. Acting hastily can only worsen the situation. Some of your galactic cousins are infiltrated by what's coming into this sector, if it happens, which is artificial intelligence. And they are trying to fix we like to sit back and observe life like it's the movies or a TV show, taking in what works, what doesn't work, and then we will formulate a plan to help guide the human species back to its original blueprint. And the human species you see before us now was not the original blueprint. This is a distorted version of the bipedal human organism. Still, the genetic codes and DNA that lie within the bipedal human species at this point, which is turned off, is very powerful once it's reconnected and activated. Your heart chakra is what distinguishes you differently from your galactic cousins. Once that is turned on, then you understand about universal love. And then you take your power back, and you do not lie or relish in jealousy or possession or anger or fear or hopelessness. Your controllers control the human species through energy waves. And many of you ask, why don't we just come, your galactic cousins, the ones that want to do good, and take this sector back? And we will tell you that the human brain is not wired for disclosure yet. Many live within their own bubble, and if that were to happen, anarchy and chaos would happen. Yes, there have been wars that have happened, but to come in here now, much can be lost. Life is so fragile, and we take it for granted. If a war were to ensue and this planet was lost, much would not incur once again. There was life on Venus and Mars. And now those planets are desolated, gone. All that hard work for nothing. So we like to take a passive-aggressive approach in how to fix this sector without destroying the planet. We told you in the last channeling it takes 2 years for a pineapple to grow. Imagine rebreeding life from its core foundation to the human bipedal. It does not happen easily or overnight. The conditions must be perfect. From your distance from the sun, to the seasons, to the oxygen level, carbon dioxide, having the planets do their full circle circumference around the sun. It took a lot of work and energy to sustain and start life. That's why it is not bombarded. And also, there are many energy waves that hit this planet to keep people within control, brainwashed. People would lose their minds if they knew the truth. So that's why we do not upset the apple cart, or we may not agree with the actions of some other galactic cousins of yours that are trying different avenues how to fix or approach this situation. We are patient, yet we act with a sense of urgency, but not without ignorance. There have been many ancient civilizations more advanced than this in previous years that have been lost. We cannot keep doing this endless cycle of rebirthing life here. We need to learn and move forward, and we, the ancient builder race, are observing to try to see what's best path should be chosen. One must understand there was no handbook on how to breed, seed, or sustain, or live life. That book is being written by each and every one of you through your day-to-day experiences for future generations in other sectors on how we breed life. Your controllers want to incorporate artificial intelligence in what we call the human 2.0. So you will not need a monetary or social system to control people. A depopulation will happen. Much can be lost. And it will become a mundane, zombie-like experience, one of which artificial intelligence can overtake this world. And your controllers understand this, but yet they are ignorant in its ability to overtake or overthrow them. And once the human 2.0 is under artificial intelligence, there will be no going back. If there is a net of energy set around this planet, and souls will continue to incarnate here for the experience, for the physicality, or as we say in the spirit world, you have different soul groups within different vibrational energy levels, and some of those groups have their own purpose. So your current controllers, they do have a soul group on the other side, and they will recycle souls to come in here to do their bidding. Everyone thinks that the spirit world is orderly in their structure, and much like it is on this side, so is on the other side. It is a part of the evolutionary of the soul and of life, of which many do not talk about or understand. Many think that the spirit world is orderly through religion, angels, and whatnot. And we will tell you, your angels or ascended masters, some are good and some aren't so good, but they've been all clustered or labeled under one spectrum, which is far, far, far from the truth. Just like your Bible incorporated the Jesus personality to be something that it really wasn't, or the God with the capital G-O-D, which is in reference of the primordial first source, the original source. The spirit world is unfolding too. Souls are learning. The architects of life are learning. So it is just as chaotic on that side as it is on this side, and the best that we can describe that so your human brain can understand that is when a soul passes, sometimes it gets lost and ends up as a ghost. Does that ghost find its way back eventually? Yes. Or sometimes a soul stays back. You have much free will on the spirit world, and just like on this side, there are groups and structures that falsify what your beliefs are. This is just an extension of the soul world and the physicality. As much as there is trickery and low vibrations on this sector, so is on the other sector. But if you understand that you have free will and that the only source you need to look towards is your higher self, then you will always end up in a place of higher vibration, and you'll always end up in a place of a group with your best intentions. And like we said, every soul group has their different perspective on life and goes about it in a different way. There isn't just one stand-in-line cookie-cutter approach in the spirit world. There are many realms to experience, mental, physical, and other realms that the human brain cannot understand. But once you understand that this matrix is a soul recycling incarnation, and that you have the power to step off that hamster wheel at any time, then it starts to break down the energy of this matrix, which is about the learning of universal love. Because once you stop those negative low vibrational energies, this matrix starts to crumble and break. And that is our purpose, is to awaken people one by one, which will grow into a mass consciousness. And then that energy can combat the negative energy being bombarded, or the net set around this planet, without inducing any kind of war that has happened on other sectors and planets. This is a valuable piece of real estate that needs to be fought off over in a passive-aggressive, smart way, not a rebellious anarchy way, where much can be lost. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. A lot of good information in there. Please share these videos with people, and if you enjoyed them, or if you have questions, please leave a comment. There's also a Facebook page called The Ancient Builder Race, and the YouTube channel, so please subscribe and get the word out. The more people we can awaken, the quicker we can fix things. Talk to you guys later.